So you're thinking about moving to Dallas, Texas, but you're thinking, man, the real estate market right now is a little bit too crazy and I'm just going to wait it out. Well, I'm not sure if that's exactly the best idea, but let's talk about it. Is the market going to crash? Is it still a good time to buy? We're going to talk about all that in this video, so stick around because we're getting after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Dallas, Texas and the surrounding areas, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Dallas. My name is Levi. You know my partner Travis, and the team and I, we get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you and you looking to make their move to Dallas. We love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, just give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and we're happy to help you make that smooth move to Dallas. So in this video, we're directly talking about everything that's going on in the market right now. Now we're kicking off 2022, and I felt it was just a good way to start this off is to give you an idea of what's going on in Dallas. We are talking to people every single day. They call in, text, email, everything. People are reaching out not only to move, but to really try to understand what's going on in the market right now. And it is a little crazy, but is the market going to crash? You can go pretty much anywhere on YouTube right now, and almost every thumbnail you see, even this one, is the market going to crash, or the market is going to crash. You know, I'm not sure if that's the case here in Dallas, and I want to share with you several factors in that for this reason. But also, you got to think about it this way. No matter what, if you're making the move, or you have to make the move right now to Dallas, Texas, it really doesn't matter what the market is doing. We have to find you one house, okay? And every single situation is completely different when it comes down to these houses. Now, here's the deal. Myself, Travis, and our team, we have been extremely successful at winning homes for our clients, especially on the first try, over and over and over again. We helped over 80 families just last year relocate here to Dallas, and we got them all pretty much done, 95% of them on the first deal. And so that's a pretty significant stat, you could say, because we actually helped probably 10 of those clients that lost 5 or 6 homes with other agents. So it really comes down to working with the right team. But here's the deal. No matter what's going on in the market, if you have to make a move, we only have to find you one house. And that's really important because every house has its own story. Every house has its own situation. And see, that's what myself and the team do, is we figure out what it's going to take to get that house. But I want to share with you a couple of things real quick as far as what's going on in the market. And I just wanted to share this with you on my screen here so you can see. But look at all of these articles, guys. I just pulled this in the last week. But look at this. Don't look for an end to rising Dallas-Fort Worth home prices in 2022. Now, what they talk about here is that it's probably going to slow down because prices have gotten so high. But I'm not really so sure about that, because they're talking about it's tough to envision home prices that will go up another 18 to 20% because they went up quite a bit, on average around 26% over last year. Now think about it. If you would have bought last year versus waiting or thinking of waiting till this year, could have gained almost 25% increase in appreciation in that home value. So this is just something to keep in mind. But look at this next article. Downtown Dallas developments will convert offices to apartments and add new towers. So again, the new construction here in the downtown Dallas area is not letting up either. Now, a lot of people said commercial real estate is dead, especially after COVID. But you know, this is what you're going to see right now is a lot of these office buildings, and that could be the case. A lot of people are not necessarily returning back to work because they are able to work from home. And as you know, if you're coming from out of state, that may be one of the main reasons why you're moving from out of state right now, is because you are approved to work from home and you're probably not going to return back to the office, or maybe you don't want to return back to the office. And this has been your opportunity to finally get out of wherever you're trying to get out of and get here to the Dallas area. But this is what they're doing down here in Dallas, is now they're converting these towers because of these situations where a lot of people are not returning back to the office. And so they'll just convert them into apartments. And we see the rental market here is just as hot as the housing market. And so if you're an investor, that's another opportunity you might want to consider, is the fact that rents out here are also going into multiple offers and multiple bidding situations. So if you're looking to move into a rental house, it's pretty much the same way. We're seeing multiple offers, multiple bids going over list price for rentals. That is something that I don't think we've ever seen ever before. So even if it's listed at a certain price, it's typically going for $100 to $200, sometimes $300 to $400 over what the standard rental rates are going on in this time frame. So this is something, if you're an investor, probably a good time to buy, because you're going to rent it out very quickly and probably more than what you need to cash flow. But in addition to that, if you're a buyer, this is probably an opportunity where it's better to buy versus rent a home, just because of that situation. You're going to end up overpaying anyways. And again, in a year, that money is going to be gone, and you could have appreciated quite a bit over that time frame. Let's look at another article. Collin County home prices outpaced North Texas. Well, of course, if you don't know, Collin County is a county north of Dallas. That's where Frisco, Plano, McKinney, Prosper, Salina, all of these areas where everybody's moving to right now and wants to move to. All right. So it's definitely outpacing Dallas. Of course, that's because most people want to be in the suburbs, definitely better school districts, lower crime rates, things like that. You'll see that, I believe here it says Collin County, highest year-end home costs were in Denton County. Denton County is just to the north and west of Collin County there, and Rockwall County. Also, we talk a little bit about Rockwall. If you've watched this channel, we've got some videos on Rockwall and Heath, which is on the east side of Dallas, on the other side of Lake Ray Hubbard. Beautiful area. Little hidden gem, you could say. Not a lot of people ask about it unless they've seen our videos. So definitely want to check that out on this channel here. Now they say most North Texas counties saw declines in home sales in December. Biggest drop was in Collin County. Number of homes sold by real estate fell 14.4%. Now don't let that trick you. The whole reason behind that is because look at this. There is a decrease, an actual decrease, 37% decrease in active listings. So that's another reason why we don't anticipate really a market crash here in the Dallas area, is because there's really just less inventory. The demand has not stopped whatsoever. The influx of people moving out of state, especially California, New York, Illinois, and Washington State, that's where we see our biggest influx coming in right now. There's just less inventory. Look at that, almost 40%. So the demand is still there, inventory is less. So what is that going to do? That's going to continually drive prices up. On top of that, corporations are moving here at a staggering rate. They love the business-friendly and the tax-friendly environment, usually compared to where they're officed out of right now. And that's why we're seeing so many corporations move to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And the reason being is because, or when that happens, then they're bringing 500, 1,000, 1,500, sometimes 3,000 jobs with them. And of course, giving people the opportunity to transfer with them, but also creating new opportunities here in the Dallas area. So that kind of leads me into, what's the next one here? Oh, still no signs of an uptick in home foreclosures. Why? And this is just the point I was talking about, improving economic security and the benefits of disciplined underwriting practices. Another reason why I don't really expect a big crash here, because so many businesses are moving here. The job market, Dallas is one of the top job markets in the country right now. The last I checked, it was number 3, and that could be moved up to number 2 or number 1 at this point because of the amount of corporations that are moving here at these rates and bringing a significant amount of people with them, but also disciplined underwriting. Guys, after 2009, underwriting and for loans has got extremely stringent, extremely making sure really that we don't go through that again. So, I know we talk with our mortgage partner, which is our preferred lending partner, Fairway, by the way, and the Macaulay team there is one of the absolute best in Dallas. Now I'm going to say the best. So, that's why they're our preferred partner. And so the reason being is that what they have to go through to get people approved these days is quite a bit. It is very stringent. So, but we're seeing a huge influx of really high quality, high credit buyers, you could say, that are selling a lot more expensive homes. They have good credit. They're coming in. And so that on top of that, promotes a strong housing market as well. And so with that, we're not seeing the amount of foreclosures. It says right here too that Dallas Fort Worth is one of the lowest foreclosure rates in the entire country, 0.1%. That's pretty significant, pretty low. So what they're saying is that the people that are buying and the people that have bought in the last several years are they're in a good financial position, even going through what we've gone through the last 2 years, that they've been able to shift and make those adjustments and still maintain their homes, what they need. But look at this. 2 ranches north of Dallas sell for future home communities. I believe this one was 35, 400 plus acres, 2,000 acres. And so, 2,400. I think the total of this was close to 3,500 acres. So now you have some of the ranch and the land that's selling. And I want to show you right here on the Google map. You can see here, this is where we're seeing a lot of influx all up in this area, right? So we can see here, of course, you got McKinney, you've got Frisco, you've got Melissa, you got Anna, you've got Prosper right here, and you've got Salina right here. This is where, and this is Aubrey, one of also the fastest growing areas in all of North Dallas. Also, Forney right here, this whole area. Let me move that transparency back up. So let me move that size down. So Forney, this whole area right here is absolutely exploding. We look at this and Forney right now, the 7th hottest neighborhood for U.S. home buyers in the country. It saw a 61% increase in population. That is massive. And look at this. Guys, this is another thing coming here to the North Dallas area. This is in Windsong Ranch up in Prosper. This is also this is the Bellagio here in Forney. They're also building one of these communities in McKinney as well. They're building one in Rowlett/Rockwall. These crystal lagoons, they are bringing the beach and the Caribbean and all the crystal clean water right here to these communities. Actually, you'll see a video coming out very soon that AJ, one of our team members, did just specifically on Windsong Ranch. The Blue Lagoon there is absolutely amazing. They've got white sand beaches there. I mean, it's great. And so they're giving you everything you need right here. But this is a huge community going into Forney that actually is for sale right now. And we have a pretty good relationship with the builder there. So if you're interested in this community, there's still a few homes left. But otherwise, this was close to 1,000 home development. And it's getting pretty close to sold out already because they started with homes in the 300s as well. So finding homes in the 300s is, areas like Forney is where you're going to look. But if you look here on the Google map out here, we highlighted a community in Princeton in one of our videos. We did a full vlog tour on Princeton and also did a rental market analysis because if you're an investor, it's a new construction community that is very friendly to investors. So something to keep in mind out there as well. They also have a few other communities. They have one in Forney as well, and they have one over here in the North Fort Worth area. So if you're an investor and you're looking to buy a 3 to 4 bedroom brand new construction house that you will easily rent out and in the $300,000 range, definitely reach out to us because we can help you lock one of those in as well. And so, but you see here, McKinney, great area to search right now because of course, Frisco, Plano, 2 of the hottest areas in all of North Dallas right now, just seeing a huge influx, but also Prosper right here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Prosper right here. Yeah. Prosper and Salina. You can see that. It's just growing so much. And here's the thing. People tend to say, well, that's pretty far north of Dallas. Well, again, you're out in the suburbs. You have much better school districts. They're rated for lower crime, but also Frisco, in my opinion, in the next few years, will probably refer to Dallas-Fort Worth as Dallas-Frisco-Fort Worth. It will become DFFW. You heard it here first on this channel, but I believe it will become Dallas-Frisco-Fort Worth because Frisco will play such a central role in the next biggest city in all of the Dallas area. So, but think about that Frisco becoming the new hub is, just something to keep in mind. That's why everything's so popular. But here's what I believe is really going to keep prices in check, mostly because look at all of this green space all around here. Okay. Now, this is been one of my biggest complaints with Dallas about living here. If you've seen the other pros or pros and cons videos we've done, or I can't stand Dallas, my number one complaint with Dallas as a longtime resident here is the lack of beaches and mountains. Although now you can see they're building beaches in all of these communities. We don't have a lot of mountains. Now you get down here to Southwest Dallas and that area, you start to tap in on the outer edges of hill country, which I love hill country, but we just don't experience it that much here in the Dallas area. But because of all of this flat land, it provides opportunity for growth and growth outward. So again, if you think about Frisco being the main hub coming in the near future, and again, anytime you're buying a home, if you're not buying it for investment, you're buying it for home ownership. Most of the time, we always advise that, hopefully you're planning to stay there for anywhere from 2 to 4, maybe 5 years. Ideally, if you stay there at least 2 years, you can always sell that home because you have no capital gains tax after 2 years, at least at the time of this recording. Who knows if they'll get rid of that anytime soon. But ideally, this is just something that you want to keep in mind, is that you have all of this growth out here. And so people are always going to be willing to kind of go a little bit further for a little bit cheaper house. And that's what we're seeing in Princeton. That's what we see in Anna. That's what we see in Melissa. I mentioned those backwards, but you get the idea. Aubrey, we're seeing homes in the 300s and the 400,000s being built, new construction, very nice homes. And the reason people are willing to do that, especially Prosper and Salina, is because of Frisco. Everything is in close proximity still. Nobody really needs to go to downtown Dallas anymore. So that's very key. That's something you just want to keep in mind, that if you're still within 10 to 20, maybe even 30 minutes of Frisco, that's pretty much like being in Frisco trying to get to downtown Dallas. But if you want to find something a little bit more affordable, get a little bit further out, and you're still within 10 to 30 minutes of Frisco has everything you absolutely need. So there's not really much of a need to go to Dallas regularly, except maybe if you want to go down there and enjoy the amenities. But if you try to get down there on a weekend, it's a pretty easy drive. I mean, traffic is not as bad as it is in most of the places that y'all are coming from, like New York and California, even Seattle, DC, Chicago. Oh man, I lived in Chicago for a year. Brutal. It didn't matter if you were going into the city or coming out. Same thing with New York. My goodness. So something to keep in mind there as well. But let's get back to a couple of more articles here. Let's see this one. That's the sell. This one, blazing real estate market continue in 2022. And again, same factors been driving up the current market, likely remain in place. People from other states, among them California, are expected to continue relocating to Dallas-Fort Worth. So again, the huge influx we're seeing. On top of that, with the huge corporations moving here, moving thousands of people at a time, it's just, there's so much going on here, a strong job market, more stringent measures on financing. It really is the perfect storm for this housing market to actually keep growing. I don't think you're going to see a crash anytime soon. On top of that, here's the deal. Our average price point with our clients last year was right at $530,000. You buy a $530,000 house and the market crashes tomorrow. And we saw this in 2009. That $530,000 house is not going to be worth $250,000, like what you saw in Miami or New York or LA, where prices got really overinflated during different markets. And whenever the market did crash, they lost up to 50% of their value, sometimes more. That's just not going to happen here. It didn't happen the first time. The thing is Dallas was very steady during even the 2009 crash. It really wasn't affected that much at all. Now, if you buy a $530,000 house and the market crashes tomorrow, maybe it's valued at $500,000, but again, you're going to likely recover that within 6 months to a year, and because everything that we just mentioned as far as the market and everything that's happening and going on right now. So there's so much going on that we don't see the downside. But here's something else I want to share with you. Interest rates are going to continue to rise. They have to. Right now they're at 3.3. That's still good. Now, some may say that if they go up to 3.6 or 4, everything's going to come tumbling down. That's not the case. Remember, like 2 years ago when 5% was still considered a good interest rate? Now, here is the situation though. If you go anywhere from 3%, 3.3 where it is right now, and you can afford a $500,000 home, if you go to 4%, you're going to be able to afford about a $450,000 home. And if you go to 5%, you're going to be able to afford about a $420,000, $430,000 home. So your buying power is going to go down significantly with the interest rates as they increase. So that's something, if you're thinking about waiting, interest rates are still going to go up. Home prices are probably still going to go up. And if you buy now instead of waiting a year, you'll likely gain pretty good appreciation in your home. And if you end up waiting 2 years and maybe you get to know the area a lot more and you want to pick something else, it does provide you the opportunity to cash out tax-free on capital gains. If you stay there at least 2 years, use that for down payments or something else that may be going on. And maybe in 2 years, prices will have calmed down or something along those lines. But if you do rent, that money is going out the window regardless, and home prices are still likely going to go up. And even if they stabilize in 2 or 3 years here in the Dallas area, they're still going to probably be higher than what you could buy at now. So you do have a perfect storm right now that is causing all of these market conditions, and it's really up to you to make a decision. Now, whenever you come here and work with us, we're not going to pressure you into buying anything, but we are going to ask that you be decisive, because you do have to be very decisive in this market. If you want a house and you like that house, the reason we were able to win all of those homes for our clients is because they said, we want this house. What do we have to do to get it? And then we figured out what would it take, because every single home is individual and it has its own story, like I mentioned in the beginning. So we have to really dig in and figure out what it's going to take to win that house. Now, if it's outside of your parameters, we're not going to ask you to put an offer in on that house, because it doesn't make any sense to do that if we get the sense we're going to lose that home. Now, we may submit that offer just as a backup, just in case, but we're going to let you know ahead of time that if we know, where it's at or where that home is likely going to land as far as the offers or anything of that nature, we're going to let you know ahead of time because we're going to set those expectations. But if we feel we've got a strong chance based on the parameters that you have and what you want to do, and we submit that offer, that's how we've been very successful, because we know ahead of time as best as possible what it's going to take to win that home. So, I hope you found this video helpful, just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on here. And if you like this video and you like this type of, content, let me know. Usually I'm out and about running around showing you all the different neighborhoods. I don't tend to focus a lot on these types of updates or what's going on, mainly because, again, like I said, when you come into town, we've got to find you one house. So in my opinion, all of the stuff that's going on right now is really irrelevant, because if you want to find a house, we have to find you a house. And again, I don't care if the market's crashed, if the market's booming, if the market's leveled out, we're still going to have to find you a house, and we're going to have to understand what it's going to take to get that house. Now, this is something that we haven't ever really seen before, as to where inventory is so low, but we still have so much demand and multiple offers and multiple bids. That is the crazy aspect of it. But again, we helped over 80 families last year alone relocate here, and we won those deals. Think about that, how successful we were to get 80 families over here from out of state. And so we know what it's like and how to help you. We have 4 team members now that have not just had us help them with their home buying process, but now they're a part of our team as well. So they know exactly what you're about to go through. And, this is our specialty, is out of state relocation. And so we know what it takes to get the deal done. And that's really what's most important, especially whenever you're looking for the right team to hire. So anyways, let me know in the comments if you found this information helpful, and, does that give you peace of mind, or does it make you a little bit more concerned? I'm very interested to hear your opinions on that. So please let me know in the comments below. And again, whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Happy to help you make a smooth move to Dallas. And until next time, well, we hope to show you around town.